Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So yeah, I just watched on Netflix a Netflix film, really good because some Netflix films are not really good. Don't know why, but they are. So yeah, I watched Enola Holmes 2, really good. It's the same as the first one, but the first one you just need to know the characters, and also yeah, we know the characters, but I feel like it was the second part of the first one. It didn't feel like a sequel that much anyway. But the only downside is the fact that they are a little bit older than the first film, because the first film came out in 2020 and this is 2022, so they got 2 years of, I don't know, something to do with looking older, but they look the same, but at the same time they look extremely different. But that's nothing to do with the story. Yeah, so this story is to do with a sister missing, and then there's also a person from a rich part of the family, not really rich, but he's not rich, but he's pretended to be rich and he's dead already. Spoilers alert. So I don't know what that is all about. Even though I watched it several times, because you can do that. I didn't watch it at the cinema, as you know. I watched on Netflix, because sometimes you can watch Netflix on the cinema, but we don't have it over here, I don't think, anyway. But yeah, I watched it at home several times, and I still didn't understand it. I did understand it, but I just wasn't interested of the fact that I was such frustrated. This movie is basically a sloppy romantic movie versus a really good detective movie, and I hate that because I feel like I have to suffer with I can't remember his name, but he has to suffer with Enola, and Enola has to suffer with him, and I just didn't feel like it was right. And trust me on this, I do like romantic stuff, but I don't like modern ones anyway. I just don't like it that way. It's just too. I just don't like it, and I feel like, yeah, he's not your boy. Even though you completely say he's not your boy, he is your boy, but I don't want you to be. Okay, I know I sound like a parent and stuff. Hey, Enola, don't be with him. Don't be with him. I'm just saying, because he's not a really good character, and he's not a really good person. I know he is a really good person, but I just feel like he's not 100% good. So he's just a normal 20-year-old, late teens man who falls in love with a boring detective character, and I feel like that's not why. But some shows do it, some books do it, some whatevers do it, and they do it really well. This does it really well, but it just doesn't feel right to me, and probably the audience who's watching this. Okay, so and the other thing is, okay, I haven't done this sort of reaction reviews for a while, so I'm just going back to me. Anyway, so for some reason, the first film, Enola Holmes, talks to the screen as usual, but in this film she does it as well, because we had to remember that she does that, even though we do already remember what she's gonna do. She's gonna talk to the screen. She's gonna talk all weirdly, and she is a tomboy, but she doesn't sound like a tomboy. I know loads of tomboys, and they never talk like that. And Enola definitely doesn't sound all Victorian. I don't know why. I feel like she's from the future, from this century, stuck in the Victorian times, and that's weird for me. I don't know why. But I do like the first one. The first one was really good. This one is really good as well. But I just don't like that. I think I'm just going back to the fact that I'm watching another sloppy detective thing. I don't know, but God, I do like Enola Holmes, the character, the films. I just feel like the sequel is just all over the place a little bit, because we're concentrating on Enola Holmes, and then we're concentrating on this character, and then a character who's missing, and a character who's this, and I just like the final end, because the final end was that the women had the vote to have a chance to do something. I don't really remember. As again, I watched it several times, this film, and I don't know why they just went out of the building. Something about the having a chance to have freedom. Alright, okay, this is weird. So that's it. And there's something to do with matches. There's something to do with a red-haired girl that's went missing, and then there's something to do with I don't really know, because this is more like, I don't know. It's not 100% to me. Okay, when you're watching other detective shows, it's straightforward. Even though you don't know what the character's going to be, even though you don't know who the villain's going to be, even though you don't know what's going to happen, it's straightforward. This is straightforward, but you know who the character is, but at the same time you don't. But that's why I can't remember. But that's good. But we're talking about Victorian detectives, not modern detectives. It doesn't make any sense, and this is what people probably act like in this era, not in the Victorian era. The side characters speak Victorian, but the modern characters sound like they're from the 70s, from the 60s, 50s, something like that. It don't sound Victorian. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I haven't watched that much Victorian films or shows or whatever. But I'm just saying, they don't sound legit, and that's weird for me. But yeah, I like the first one. I do think, like, the first one is about something to do with alone, and then I'm trying to find my mother. Alone, and he switched around called Enola. So that makes a lot of sense. But here, it's like, we never knew that the black coloured woman was the bad guy. She was probably just one of those side bad guys, not the real bad guy. You thought he was that person who's fighting this scroll to do with the rescuing the women's rights or something. And then he's just really cheesed off, and he's walking around with his cane and stuff. I don't like it. It's not. You felt like you were watching those weird slapstick, old slapstick silent films, and then you put sound over it in a modern film, and it doesn't feel right. And it does, but you're watching. If you're a kid, you'll find this really good. As an adult, you might find this boring, and a little bit excited, but okay, it's doable, whatever. Especially when they got the carriage got blown up and everything. But the final action, when Enola was on this higher bit of the bridge and she was smacked with a hook or something, that was really, really good. That's it. That's all the action. That's the proper action that I like. I don't like the action where you saw it several times, the bad guy's chasing this good guy or whatever. We saw that sort of thing before. We saw anything before, and there's nothing really different about it. But only the stupid main character that I really, really love. I really do like Millie Bobby Brown, but I feel like she's stuck between another role that she's probably playing, and she's trying to remember how she plays Enola Holmes. Like, how did I play this role again? I don't really remember. Oh, I know this. I had to talk to the screen like I'm talking to a relative of mine, and I don't really like talking to the screen. Okay, yeah, we understand that. But when we're watching other films, like, some actors don't really like the role and are doing it superbly. Millie Bobby Brown's probably liking the role, but she's doing it like that's her job. She's not really doing it as fun, and I think she's doing it as fun as well, but you don't really see it. You're just like, yeah, whatever. And I had to do a paycheck doing this, and then I'm doing something else, and you kind of see that, but you kind of not. So I don't know why. But with people that are really, really not really liking any roles that they do. They do it really, really good with their characters, and that's how, you know, even the ones who can't stand their roles, they do it really, really good. And you don't see that until 500 years later or something. I'm being a little bit silly here, but you know, like, some years later you feel like, yeah, I understand it now. But now, straight away, you can see that Millie Bobby Brown is trying to think, yeah, I'm doing another role at the moment, but I feel like I have to figure out how to play Enola Holmes because I've done it in 2020 or 2019, and this is 2021, 2022. I have to remember, you know, because I've played lots of roles since then, and I had to remember what this is and whatever. Can't stand it, and I feel like I do like Enola Holmes. I do like this character because, you know, she's up my street. She's really straightforward. She's trying her best. That's what I do personally. But she's dead, and she's a fictional character. Don't care really. But that's it. That's all I know. That's all I want to say about Enola Holmes, and her lover. I don't know why he's here. I thought I thought it was just a random character in the first one, like modern films do. You think it's the main character in the sequel or the third one or the fourth one, and now it's just is. And you know, with some films you think, oh, he's gonna be in the next film. He's not. That's what I thought was gonna happen. But now you definitely want him in this film. Don't know why, but you definitely did. So. He does alright. I wish he was mainly a side character, but he's more like those side characters with the main characters, not a side character like, alright, cheerio, I'm just gonna do this sort of politician now, whoopee, I'm doing this now, on to the next scene. No, he's basically with Enola all the time, and it's alright. We saw this sort of thing before with a man and a woman, or woman and a woman, or man and a man do this sort of thing together. We see it all the time. Why do we do something new? And if we do something new, we probably hate it as well. So it doesn't really win, but it's okay. Enola Holmes 2 is a good film, but I feel like we saw this sort of cliche before. The romance, sort of modern romance before. We saw the action before, definitely before. I like the action scenes, I like the romantic scenes, but we saw them before, so it's not really real to us. Then we used to sort of films like that, so I don't really know. But yeah, I could definitely see Helen Bonham Carter talking to the screen, because I can definitely see that. But with Millie Bobby Brown, I definitely like it in the first one because we haven't seen it before. And now we saw what Enola Holmes is going to do. We know what she's going to do. She's going to talk to the screen every single time when she has a moment of like, okay, that's out of the way. I'm going to talk to the screen now. Oh my god, I don't know why he's acting like this. I don't know why she's acting like this. Oh my god, you're acting like a teenager. You're not acting like a normal like a Victorian British woman. You're sounding like you're a detective from a kid's novel, not a family novel. Take that in mind. So I don't know. It's like it's not. Maybe I have to get used to it. I don't know, but I like it in the first one, because you've never seen it before, as I said before. But here, okay, this is gonna happen. Everything about Enola, nobody else, but Enola is just really good in this film. Also the actress who played it. So that's all I got really. There's nothing really negative about the film, but I'm just saying these things to take in mind that we saw this sort of thing before, but not the story. Just the way they say things, just the way they, I like Sherlock Holmes. I feel like he's a side character as well. When in the first one he was the main character, and now the main character with Enola Holmes is just Tinkleberry or whatever his name is. Strawberry or whatever his name. I can't remember what his name is. His long name. I watched it yesterday and now I can't remember it. I don't know why. Maybe I think that's for the best. But yeah. So yeah, Sherlock Holmes is the main character, but he's a third or fifth main character. He's not the second main character like in the first one. And the boyfriend or the lover was like the third or fourth main character. Side character, main character, whatever. You know what I mean? In the first one. And now he's the second one. In the second film. It doesn't make sense. Because he's just a politician. He's in, or something. He's not a main character for the books, for the film. He's just a sloppy older man who wants to fall in love with a detective woman. It doesn't work like that, but it kind of does in this sloppy detective film. It's not. It's okay. I do like sloppy stuff, but if they do it well, they do it well. But they're trying to hide the fact, like, okay, he's this and she's that, and it doesn't really work in the Victorian era. We understand it because we watch different sort of history stuff. If you watch history stuff, and it works, but it kind of doesn't because you're thinking about the history stuff, and we're just talking over the film, and as we all do, and it doesn't feel good. Maybe I'll stop talking over the screen and stuff, but I don't know. It's a good film, and when I talk over the film, talk over films in general, I feel like, yeah, that's amazing. And not the fact that I'm talking, but the fact I'm talking about the film while watching it, and if it's going to work or not, and it does. This film, it's so boring, but it's so fascinating. The detective stuff does not really work than in the first one, because the first one I can't really remember, but something about somebody's death or something. And she goes to a private school or something. Here, she's getting hanged. Oh, what are we gonna do? Oh, Holmes gonna save her. Oh, like, okay, whoopee. I don't really care because she was not really my favourite character. Because I couldn't stand some of her scenes. Like, okay, I get it. You're just one of those teenagers who just can't do things properly as a detective. Okay, whatever. Learn. And then the mother comes learn, and she learns her in a carriage. And then you see lots of clips in the film of a backflash or something, and it's doing with how it's gonna happen. How it works in the first film, but in here it's I don't know. But what do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Like, I don't know. But thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you have a good time. And this is obviously all two films, and it's probably called, I don't know what we're gonna call this, but yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Bye. Before I go, I know I already said bye, but I'm just gonna say I like Enola Holmes. I like the two films so far. I just wish it was a little bit better in the sequel, because most sequels are not really good. But yeah, I don't know anymore. Good story, a good story, but we saw the acting a bit before. But good story. Bye. But please watch it if you think it's what you think. Don't just agree with me. You can watch and then you can agree with me, because you never know what's going to happen in the film. And if you know what's going to happen because I told you, I'm so sorry.